is the owner of the property, and the address we have in our records for him is that of Kaduna, and we duly served him. This is a copy of the revocation notice and the evidence of service. This is him, served since the 14th of March 2025, and a copy of this was duly pasted at the gate of this building.
This is unacceptable. We condemn it, and we will make sure that they will have us to contend in the near.
Good afternoon and welcome to your favorite program on Tuesday, the Tuesday Tonic, Political Update. It has been a long walk to the meeting of the PDP NEC meeting, but yesterday was the D-Day, but they met another brick wall. The PDP headquarters was sealed off by the Federal Capital Territory Administration over issues of grant fee that has not been paid. However, the meeting was held somewhere else, and the resolution was just one major one, their grievance over the sealing of the Secretariat. But today, the President has intervened, giving all those affected in that sealing of yesterday 2 weeks, that is fortnight, to comply with all the issues surrounding the sealing of the property. On the part of the PDP, the incident of yesterday, they didn't stop their meeting. So currently they are meeting at the Legacy House in Abuja, and major issues are expected to be discussed. Prominent among is the party national secretary tussle that is lingering. Secondly, the anti-party activities some members are embarking on. And thirdly, the gale of defections ongoing in the party. These are three key issues they will discuss. But that will not going to be the subject of discussion on Political Update today. So what are we looking at? The 2027 general elections are currently gathering momentum. I will describe it as endorsement versus coalition. So today we're going to discuss coalitions ahead of 2027 general election. And a member of the Labour Party and also a public affairs analyst, two of them will join me in the course of the program to do justice to this issue at the moment. My name is Mie Okidi. You are welcome. President Bola Tinubu has officially presented the APC flag to the party's standard bearer in the forthcoming governorship election in Anambra State, Nicholas Okachukwu. APC National Chairman Abdullahi Ganduje presented the candidate and his running mate, Uche Okonefe, who were produced through indirect primaries.
Came into Abuja also and then joined us from Abuja to APC. So it makes APC to be bigger. So if I'm from the south, there's Nigeria candidate from the south, and my deputy is Nigeria candidate, from the center, and all of us have joined APC. Means nothing is left of Abuja in the state. So we're coming with that momentum. And when the president visited, he saw the enormous crowd that came to his party people that were so happy, waited from morning till the time he left, with so much enthusiasm, with so much joy and happiness. When you see your party member, you know, and the president acknowledged that, and I goes, go and bring Anambra to center. Okay. And that's what we're going to do.
Coalition talks are gaining momentum ahead of Nigeria's 2027 presidential election as key opposition leaders push for a united front. Let's take a listen at that article.
With action, the combined enforcement team of the FCT administration commenced the sealing up of premises which are in default of payment of ground rent for several years. Within the Wuse district of the city, premises belonging to the Federal Inland Revenue Service, annex block of the Ibru Hotel, and the Access Bank by the Wuse Market, as well as the Wadata Plaza, received the sledgehammer of the administration. Property also sealed up by the FCT administration are a petrol station and the office complex of the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons NAPTIP and some private premises.
Today is just to comply with what we have said, that we are going to take over all the revoked
properties. And we're starting with plot 534, cadastral zone A02, as we say 1, which is being owned by Total PLC.
Samaila Coffee is the owner of the property, and the address we have in our records for him is that of Kaduna, and we duly served him. This is a copy of the revocation notice and the evidence of service. This is him, served since the 14th of March 2025, and a copy of this was duly pasted at the gate of this building.
Ground rent is a payment on landed property to the FCT administration that is payable not on request at the beginning of every year. Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
Let's take a listen at the coalition talks that was held in Abuja. That is the meeting of the National Political Consultative Group. Let's take a listen at that clip, please.
This National Caucus meeting held at the Bauchi State Governor's Lodge in Asokoro, Abuja is ahead of the party's proposed National Executive Committee meeting slated for this Tuesday, 27th May 2025. It was attended by governors on the platform of the PDP, members of the Board of Trustees, National Working Committee, and other organs of the party. Acting National Chairman Umar Damagum briefed the media as the meeting adjourned to tomorrow, Tuesday, 27th May 2025. Asked if the PDP neck will still hold, the party was silent on the question. He, however, reacted to the sealing of the Wadata Plaza, headquarters of the party.
This is unacceptable. We condemn it, and we will make sure that they will have us to contend in the near future.
Tuesday, 27th May 2025. This meeting will decide the way forward to whether or not the party's neck will hold as scheduled. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
Before I bring in my guest for the discussion, let's have a soundbite of the meeting of the coalition that was held in Abuja.
Former Vice President and 2023 PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar and his counterpart in the Labour Party, Peter Obi, met in Abuja with some other political leaders from across the 19 northern states. The meeting, under the banner of National Political Consultative Group North, focused on insecurity, the economy and political strategy ahead of the 2027 general election. Other notable attendees at the meeting included former governors Rotimi Amechi and Idris Wada, former Attorney General and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami, and the Labour Party Vice Presidential candidate Yusuf Deiti Baba Ahmed. Organizers say the event aimed to address the northern challenges and form a formidable force ahead of the 2027 general election.
Well, the note is trying to advance political unity. The note is trying to advance political inclusion.
The meeting was, however, briefly disrupted by a dispute among Jigawa delegates over representation, which was later resolved. As coalition efforts grow, all eyes are on whether this emerging bloc can mount a serious challenge in 2027. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
So joining me via Zoom is a former IPAC national chairman and also a member of the Labour Party, Peter Ami. So Peter Ami, if you can hear me, that you're there. What is your position? This has been, kind of rumor that the last time I brought you to the studio, I asked you whether Labour Party were going to be in any coalition. You said no. I asked you that question 3 times, but it seems I've been proven right. So, do you have any other thing to say, either in defense or in support of me?
Politics is an ongoing development. You can never, say that this is how it will end. And for whatever form it takes at the end of the day, it is for the benefit of the process, so that people can have a consolidated unit on how to work and then better defeat. The ways to power It's a very lot of work. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of commitment, and it takes a lot of collectivism, collective bargaining. So if the people I felt were running on a separate term, I've now found an interest that the candidate of Labour Party is a very attractive in the 2023 presidential election. Peter Obi is a very attractive.
Okay, I will still join you again, Peter. I also have Jide Ojo online. If he is ready, we can also get his own perspective. If Peter is back. Okay, Peter is back. So
What we're saying generally is that, like I said, the way to power is something that has to do with some level of collective bargaining and collective understanding. What was there at the initial was the fact that people will say they will not be able to do that with social person, they won't do that for social region. But it's clear now today that we need people need candidates that have built up momentum, that have citizens backing, that have the youth support, and if that is clear, and the need to come to the table is become necessary, I do not see any reason why whatever rigid decision that was taken in the past cannot be, reanalyzed, reassessed, and then the decision taken in the direction that will favor our people. It is not a political society at the moment.
Okay, when we were talking, I was taking something down. You said the way to power can take different forms. So whatever form it takes is politics. So which form is Labour Party taking now?
Generally for the interest of the people. It's not just politics, it's beyond politics.
Okay. Is Labour Party part of the coalition?
Nana, they led the Labour Party National Working Committee actually issued a statement yesterday and said that they are aware that we attended these meetings. I was there. My name was part of the delegate that attended that meeting. And in fact, I've never seen in my entire life where a party is not interested in expanding his membership drive, expanding in reaching out to be able to meet more people. I've never seen. I've been in this political party. A lot of people have been in politics. I've been in party management for close to 20-something years. There have been ups and downs. There are where we succeeded and where we failed. But that's what makes us a better, those with experience that could advise whoever is running the party, political party today. Labour Party has an interest. Today, the North is meeting. When the North met 2 days ago and was looking at how to discuss issues of consensus building, of trying to make sure that how to drive collective agenda for 2027. If a person who one of the most sought after political presidential candidate is invited and is not there, you should know that that something had gone wrong. So I was very glad when I saw that Peter Obi and a host of other leaders, I accepted the invitation to speak at the Northern Consultative Political Forum, which is a good omen. It's different from what it was in the build-up to the 2023 election. So this is a good omen for 2027 election for the opposition.
Okay, last week as well, just before the coalition meeting, 22 governors endorsed the incumbent president for 2027. The National Assembly caucus of APC, and even the leadership of the APC. Out of 36 governors, 22 already giving that ticket to the incumbent president. Is that not a threat to your coalition?
But me, like I've said, analysis are not, it's not something you go for data. For those of us who are driven by data. In the 2023 elections, when Peter Obi contested under Labour Party, there was no single senator backing him, no single House of Rep, no single House of Assembly, no single governor. And yet, he won 25% in 16 states, 50% in 7 states, including Abuja, Port Harcourt, Delta, and Nasarawa. And he also had, 44.5% in the entire votes cast in the South. While those with political machinery got 35.5% and 19.2% and 0.4% respectively. So the fact of this whole electoral process has changed. It is no longer what we used to have when you have, they say, oh, you must have rivers where the money is, you must have data. This is no longer politics as usual. It is politics that have now gone back to the people. The youth population, which is about over 60% of our population demographic, have discovered that they can take decisions and go to the ballot and vote.
Okay, you are talking of youth, and I've also interacted with some youth. Their fear in this coalition is who will be the presidential flag bearer and who will be the running mates if, for instance, that coalition is formed. And obviously, many of them will not be comfortable if Peter Obi is not taken as the presidential candidate and probably given as a running mate. Are you also considering that in this coalition?
I think for me too, I wouldn't be happy because the fact is that we're trying to solve Nigerian problem. We are not with Peter. Peter is not an established. He's not the person that play politics of money. So working for Peter B would be a pro bono achievement because all we have is a collective interest to make Nigeria work, just as the same interest is has. He is desperate to make sure that Nigeria works. So if we have a system that the presidency has to stay in the south and that it's still the turn of the south to run a particular period of time, and you have a competent person, a person with character, a person with discipline, a person with capacity as Peter Obi, and yet we will not be able to drive out to the ballot on this consensus. We will be putting the whole coalition in danger because I have said it before. If you look at politics around the world, you don't bring everybody to a primaries and start to box themselves. If you look at America, there's an elimination period for political parties. They have this the debate process. People start to fall along the line so that at the end of the day, you don't have a rowdy session for primaries because this primaries that is designed to have 50 people contesting on the primary day is meant to cause confusion. It's meant to deprive people of the rightful person that will be on the ballot. So the coalition must take something into cognizance and it must take this information very serious that we can have a consensus building process and determine this process before going to primaries and say this and this are most likely to be able to deliver us victory. Because as is of today, if President Tinubu have taken up data and Akwabom is about to go, though it's frightening because he believes that the state totally belongs to the opposition. The man is even frightening, begging people. So if he has taken those sides, it is obvious that you need somebody with the popularity in that area to be able to return back this state back to the opposition.
Peter, I know you are more like a commentator than even a politician. When you talk, time will never be enough. But let me also bring your friend, Jide Ojo, who is also joining us on this discussion. If he's online, let's get Jide Ojo's perspective on the coalition talk in town. Jide Ojo, if you can hear me. Okay. If Jide Ojo is not online, let me bring back my friend again, Peter. Peter, please let me, before we round off the discussion, you said you too will not be happy if Peter Obi is not given the presidential slot and probably considered for running mates. If, for instance, Peter Obi and Atiku are the candidates the coalition is fronting, will Atiku Abubakar accept to be a running mate? And if, for instance, they go to the field on that primary and money plays his own part and your choice of candidate, probably Peter Obi is not considered or didn't take the position, what will be your reaction, especially the obedient movement in Nigeria?
Let me state this very clearly. Atiku Abubakar can no longer run for vice president candidate. He has served as vice president for 2 times. And I will not, I've never disrespected him because I have so much respect for him. But I know that one of the advice I give is that leaders that have, this kind of national popularity sometimes should be able to concentrate on how to make sure that they leave a legacy that will be worthwhile remembering. Because if you look at all the times Atiku Abubakar contested for president, the largest support he ever got is from Southeast. Although Obi will always tell you, I don't want you to vote for me, I don't want you to support me based on the fact that I'm from Southeast. That I want you to look at my records, I want you to look at my competence, ability, and that he wants to be able to make a mark, that will show on our leadership history that this is what is possible when people who are committed to delivering processes and changing the dynamics of governance are put in place of power. So at the end of the day, I think, like I always say, I do not want to, break this coalition. I don't want to be the person to break, but everybody know where I stand. And I can also come to national TV and pretend. I don't know how to pretend. I'm those who have watched my political career over the years know that I always say speak my mind. I stand with Obi. I be with Obi. And for me, I'm also looking at 2027 that if we cannot get people who can, turn Nigeria around, who can, manage our resources with some level of discipline, who can be able to, turn our economy around and then, give us a large prosperity. Maybe I'll be back and concentrate on my business too, because we can't continue to, rigmarole, run in cycles and expect things to change. I'm committed to this process of seeing that Peter Obi has achieved the necessary target that he wants, for this country. And my advice is to leaders is for us to look beyond what we think we deserve and look beyond, because today the South is there, the North is there. If we build a proper consensus between the North and the South and find out that this consensus, look, there are a lot of complaints. There's no way you can have a perfect society. But you need to drive towards having a perfect society. So, because if you look at the middle, I'm from Kogi State. I should have been complaining that I want to be president, I want to be this, because that's Sarawak State or Benue State. We've never had those opportunities. But these are not. It's no longer about. It's not about being an Igala or being an Idoma person or being an Igede person or a Yala person. But the fact is that we need competent hands. We need people who have been tested, people who have shown tremendous growth in managing their personal life, in managing their personal business, and who are invested in how to make sure that Nigeria, go beyond what Lee Kuan Yew have done, and Nigeria has what it takes to feed the world. Why are we suffering? Why don't we have roads? Why don't we have a train system? That's my focus for 2027.
Thank you very much, Peter. I, Chief Peter Ame, former National Chairman, Inter-Party Advisory Council, former presidential candidate, and now a member of the Labour Party. But let me also tell you that the Speaker of the House of Representatives has withdrawn the mandatory voting for Nigerians. I think that we're going to also interest you. So that is much we can take with discourse with Peter Ame on coalitions ahead of 2027. So Peter Ame, you are there again. Thank you very much. I think time is not enough, but we're probably going to have a part 2 of this our discussion. God's willing.
We are valuable.
Thank you very much. So before we round off, let's take this report as political intrigues continue to unfold ahead of 2026 Abuja Municipal Area Council elections. Political parties, groups and individuals are also strategizing to ensure that young Nigerians are given the opportunity to bring their competencies to bear. A former supervisory councillor in Amak, Yunusa Dantani Sarki, who earlier indicated interest to contest in the election on the platform of the All Progressives Congress APC, who was a councillor who represented Jua Ward between 2024 and 2026.
Junior people of FCT is concerned, we are nowhere to be found educationally. What happened to our scholarship? Why can't we are they not qualified to go to abroad and study? You have seen from the past administration, nobody has sent anybody for indigenous people to go and study abroad. Are we saying that we are not qualified? Those are the area I've seen that the past administrations have lapses and we need to build upon.
We will galvanize grassroots support, uniting individuals on every sphere of life who share his unwavering commitment to justice, peace, and unity.
They will get the best services from Honorable
Yunus
Akarmu.
For their performance.
He has the vision.
He
shares most of vision with us, and I believe he's going to election.
APC as a party is a party that believes in doing what is right.
Whoever comes will join the queue so that we conduct free, fair, and free election for each and every of them.
Thank you very much, and I must sincerely also thank my crew for giving us the best. The Zoom was quite challenging, but we were able to get it through. We wish children happy Children's Day. First Lady just hosted Nigerian children, and currently the Senate is also hosting them and celebrating the day with them. My name is Mia Ogidi. Hope to see you again on Friday with another exciteful package on Political Update. Thank you.